welcome back to my earth-friendly kitchen. I'm Maria, and today I'm going to be making a shrimp fried rice from scratch. So this is something that we get a lot, like when we get takeout, we get Chinese food, we always order like fried rice, Chinese, shrimp fried rice is one of my favorites. So I wanted to start making it from home to save money from eating out, ordering food in, and I came up with this recipe. It's just super fast, super delicious. It's partially fresh, partially pantry. So I am using a couple leftovers, so that just helps with the cost of the meal. But even if you made this like all from scratch, it really keeps your serving cost under $3 a serving, which is really, you can't beat that. You're going to spend way more than that getting shrimp fried rice in a restaurant, so. And I think it's just as tasty. So we're going to start with the shrimp actually, because while I'm prepping everything else, I want the shrimp to marinate a little bit. So I have about a pound of shrimp here. They're just like they're cleaned, they're deveined. If you know what devein means, it means that they went in there and cut the back and pulled out the poop, the bad stuff that is the waste from the shrimp. So it's clean, it's deshelled, it's deveined, all of those good things. So I'm going to add to this about 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Now I'm using tamari, which is actually like a gluten-free soy sauce because I am gluten sensitive. So you can use regular soy sauce. It's, the same, basically. It's just one's gluten-free, one's not. And I'm going to put a little bit of sesame oil in here. Now, sesame oil, I'm going to say maybe half a teaspoon because it's pretty strong. Has a really beautiful smoky flavor to it, but it can overwhelm a dish. So you don't want to add too much to your dish. And then I'm going to put about half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And we're going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. Okay, and then another 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. Okay, and we're just going to let the shrimp marinate in that mixture while we are prepping everything else. So you just want to give it a nice toss so that it's coated. And this is going to be really fast, actually. Shrimp don't take very long to cook at all, so it's going to be a pretty fast cook once we get the cook actually going. I'm going to take a half of a lemon, an onion, and I'm going to save the other half in my little saver here for another dish. And this is kind of like a medium-sized onion, and so I'm going to just, we're not making a ton of this. It's only for 1 pound. If you're making more, you might need more. If you're making, 2 pounds of shrimp fried rice, I'm just using kind of based on what I have, based on the leftover rice that I have, which is actually about 2 cups. I measured it out. So I didn't want to make a whole lot, but, this is, for right now, I only need about half of an onion for that. And I'm going to cut my little ends off here, save that for discard for my freezer bag. Chop up the rest. And then I'm only going to use, I know normally I use quite a bit of garlic, but I'm only going to use like 3 cloves here, 3 decent cloves of garlic. And we're going to chop this up small because this is all going to go in. Nothing's like coming out of the dish as far as like, once it's cooked, we're not removing anything. Everything's going to get eaten. So you want to make sure it's nice and finely chopped. This guy doesn't want to come out. And it's going to be, like I said, very fast. We've already talked about in other dishes, how to sweat garlic and onions. So that'll be a quick initial, and then we're actually going to add one of my favorite ingredients to a dish is ginger. Ginger is just so flavorful. It complements the garlic so well. It just really adds an extra depth of kind of like spiciness, but also just really elevates the dish with the brightness that you don't get from a lot of other veggies. And I'm going to show you a little trick on how to peel the garlic, how to peel the ginger in a minute, because most people think you use a peeler, but I'm going to show you a better hack that's even faster than that. So just a nice fine chop on that garlic. And we're gonna put that together with the onions. And then, so the ginger, you're only gonna need about an inch worth, like about a thumb's worth of ginger here, because a little bit goes a long way. I'm going to take a spoon, and this will actually peel it better than your grater, because you'll be able to get into the little nooks and crannies. See how easy that was? So fast. A little kitchen hack for you, nice and quick. And then I just cut that guy off. Cut off the end here. Now, ginger and garlic combination is a powerful, potent combination for antioxidants. They're super healthy for you. You know, if you have a cold or you're under the weather, you know, even just to help do like a detox or a purify. Ginger is so healthy for you. It has so many benefits. It helps with blood flow and circulation. Really, really good, powerful stuff. So it's really, if you can add it to dishes, you know, try, because it's really helpful. And the same thing when you put the ginger garlic combo together. Garlic's also very heart healthy, good for the blood flow, good for circulation. So this is a healthy addition to our meal. So I'm just going to add all of that into one bowl here, and I'm separating my ingredients a little bit because some of them need to cook a little bit longer than others, right? So the fresh stuff will need to cook down. And then things like this can of peas and carrots. It's an 8.5 ounce can. I've already drained and rinsed the peas and carrots in the sink. So that's not going to need as much time because it's already been cooked and prepped. Same thing for this corn on the cob that we have left over from a barbecue that we did. I saved that. We're going to just cut off. Now you could also use an 8.5 ounce can of corn, sweet corn kernels. That would be just as fine. It's just that I have this in the fridge and I want to get rid of it, or repurpose it, I should say, so that way it doesn't go bad in our fridge. You know, this, by making sure you're using what you have as far as leftovers go, you know, you really cut down on your food costs, right? Not only do you cut down on your food waste, but you really help stretch that budget. You know, if you can create, this always makes a mess, guys. I have another video. I love just throwing corn everywhere. But it really just cuts down on your costs, you know, overall, because you're really getting 2 meals from one when you purchase your items. And so, I don't know, you know, anywhere we can tighten the budget belt is always a good thing, because things are expensive. And they, you know, they only get more expensive as time goes on, unfortunately. So this is a great way. Now, that's it. That's prep. And then I'm going to take all of this, including my soy sauce and my sesame oil and my spices, and I'm going to bring them over to the stove, and then we're going to finish this dish over there. So I'm just going to grab everything and meet you over there. Get these guys. And my spices. Okay, so now we have everything over here, and I'm just going to turn this on to a medium heat or so. I put some, we call it like a non-flavored oil, I guess, or neutral oil they call them. I'm using grapeseed. You can use canola or whatever you want to use. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of that sesame oil again, because you don't need much. And that's why you need the neutral oil, because you need more oil to cook, but you don't want that flavor, you know, necessarily. You don't want the sesame oil to overwhelm everything else. So I'm just going to heat that up, and I'm going to put my onions, garlic, and ginger and get that going. You'll already smell when you put the sesame oil in that toasty kind of flavor. It's very nutty, really just very special. Just adds a whole level of depth to any dish that you have. Especially, it's very common in like Asian dishes that you make. We use it a lot in Chinese and Thai, and I make spicy mayo with that. One day I'm gonna make a spicy mayo recipe with you guys that you'll have to use that, and you just can keep that in the fridge and put it on everything. My husband says that he would like to be buried with it. I mean, I thought we were gonna be buried together, but you know, we'll have spicy mayo between us, I guess. So we're just gonna sweat these onions and garlic and ginger together, and just really until they're translucent, just a couple of minutes. And then we're gonna add the shrimp to this. And we're just gonna add the whole thing with the marinade, because all that flavors, you know, you're basically working off the same profile of flavor. And these shrimp are not gonna take long to cook. You know, they're only gonna take about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on how big your shrimp's in. Obviously, the smaller the shrimp, the more time it needs to cook. But you want to make sure you're getting a nice even cook on both sides. So I like to use tongs to turn them instead of my spoon. You could use a spoon, you know, whatever works for you. Whatever you have. Even if you don't have tongs, it's fine. But shrimps are always, and turn this up a little bit more closer to medium. It was kind of below it. Shrimps are always super fast, you know, when you're cooking. And then I have the rice, I have my corn and my beans, and a little bit more soy sauce. And then it's just, once the shrimp is done, it's just super fast. We just add everything in to warm it through. Like I said, I think this is about 2 cups of rice or so in here that I have left over. So I'm just gonna see if these are ready to flip. They are. So you want to look for that kind of opaqueness when you're cooking shrimp to make sure that they are getting cooked. They'll go from that, you know, nice, this is where that nice pink color comes in. And flip them through. Obviously the guys in the middle always cook a lot faster than the ones on the side. So you want to make sure you're kind of moving them around as you go. But all of that like flavor and the juice is gonna really flavor that rice. This is just plain white rice I had from another recipe that I was using. And of course, as you're warming everything else through, the shrimp will cook even more, right? So you really just want to get it nice and browned on both sides. Do they still call it browned if it's pink? I don't know. I think so. But it does look pink. But that's what you're looking for, like you would brown any you know, meat that you use. You would do that. So these are looking really good. And at the same time, you know, your onions and your garlic and your ginger are still cooking, and that is also flavoring the shrimp as well. But we use those same flavor profiles in our spices as we did that we added fresh. And so we're just really playing, you know, just enhancing those flavors across the board with that. So you'll see these are all looking really good now. They are pretty much cooked through. And we're going to start adding our corn and peas and carrots. Again, I rinsed the peas and carrots mostly just to get some of that brininess from the can off of them, you know, that preservatives, which again are necessary for preserving the flavor, but you know that it does have that, you know, you don't want to have that like tinny kind of flavor when you use the canned good. It just helps, you know, especially with vegetables. And then I'm gonna just add the rice here. So this will make 2 cups, and with this amount of shrimp should make about 4 to 6 servings of your dish. And I'm gonna add a little bit more soy sauce here. Now you could also crack an egg in this, right? Make it very traditional, I'd say that was about 2 tablespoons or so more of soy sauce. You could crack an egg in this, make it a little bit more traditional fried rice, right? That has egg in it. I don't eat eggs, just plain by themselves, and so I don't put it in. But feel free. You could also do this with chicken. You could do this with pork, roast pork, any type of protein, or even tofu, or just vegetables. You could saute. I used to be vegan for a long time, so I would make this with I would do instead of shrimp, I would cook broccoli and like bamboo shoots and water chestnuts and stuff. Just really very flavorful. And then you just want to kind of keep stirring. You're really just trying to heat that rice up again, and the liquid from the soy sauce and the juices of the shrimp and the veggies are going to help kind of rehydrate the rice, right? Because when it's in the fridge, it's a little bit dry. Or I should say it dries out a little bit. And so, you just want to cook it long enough so all of that kind of melds in. And I am going to taste this just to see if it needs anything. Perfect. Nope, doesn't need anything. Just needs to cook a little bit more warmer. So there's no added salt to the dish. If you notice, I didn't put any coarse kosher salt or even the sea salt in here, because the soy sauce is salty enough. The fermentation process of the soy bean to make the soy sauce really increases the salt content of it, and it's all you need. It's all you need for this dish. It's actually really good. So you can see now that's looking really good. I'm going to get my spoon here. You can hear it getting nice and hot. When you start to hear the sizzle, it's really ready. And then nice plump shrimp. It just makes, my daughter actually loves this too, my toddler. She loves anything small bites, like rice or beans. Okay, and that is it, guys. Turn that off. Here's the dish. It's just really simple, very fast, quick ingredients. Obviously, you can make the rice fresh and do this as a second part. That's just an added step. The peas and carrots, you can get even frozen and heat them up. There's so many different ways you can make this. The ingredients, this is just the basics, but the flavor profiles are all there. The spices ingredients are all there. And again, it's just a really low cost meal. So I'm just going to take a piece of this shrimp here and try it with everything else. Yep. So good. Better than takeout, I promise you that, and a whole lot cheaper. So if you want recipes like this, continue to like and subscribe my videos, and we'll catch you on the next one. We'll see you later. Bye.